Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Hysteria Projects. Hope you're doing well. This message, is directed towards someone that is trying to go towards peace. Having just left something behind, you're headed towards your happiness. You're headed towards the sun, really. What this is giving is that you have left behind something that I'm going to say had you in the Ten of Wands energy, something that was overbearing and something that you had been hanging on to, and you finally released it, and you're headed towards peace. You're headed towards stability, whether this be financially or if this is emotionally. You're definitely headed towards happier days, okay? And I don't know if this is related to the previous message or not. There are similarities here, but this doesn't have to be a continuation of that. But I'm talking to somebody that has left something here, something that they were holding on to painfully, so that was doing more harm than good for you, okay? And now you're seeking peace. Now you're seeking that balance, really, that space between the extremes, something more stable, really. So let's just hop into it. I'll take it. The multiverse, and with this 10 energy here, this is completion of long-term cycles. This is starting over. This is success, really. This is like a new beginning. And this is something that could have been very emotional for you. This is something that could have had your thoughts in a whirlwind. But this is something that you have been guided to do as well, okay? Let's pull some more. That's too many, but this freedom and ascending in the celestial realm, just in this image alone, this looks like somebody that is ascending, somebody that is looking above them, So I'm not going to take all those though. I just want one. You're on the right path for sure. You're on the right path. There we go. Yeah. This descend, okay? This has to do with that ending, this completing of a cycle. Rediscovering your independence, okay? This burden that you have released, that you held on to so tightly, your wheels were turning to the point of smoking, okay? And the divine is trying to help you find that calmness again. That space between the extremes is coming back up, okay? You could have been one extreme to another extreme, and that happiness, that peace is in the middle, okay? And I feel as though you're understanding that, okay? You are searching and headed towards this peace. And that started with you letting go of what was hurting you, of what was causing your life more harm than good when all said and done. Let's see. This underworld, this is another 9. This is that ending. Whatever this was that you have walked away from, or it's okay, fled away from, okay? This is something that made you defensive in a way, but also made you stronger, okay? This is something that you can use to help guide you to that more peaceful state. Lessons learned type deal. The bad is over. The bad is over. It's ended. You exited, and you're headed straight towards the sun. You're headed straight towards happiness. You're, the sun, and it also represents, harmony and everything, being in a divine order. Okay. Transformation. This whole situation has changed you, and what you are transforming into, and or have already transformed, this is something that makes you wealthy. And when I say wealthy, this doesn't have to be financially, okay? But wealthy in spirit, wealthy as a person, within your heart and within your soul. This is fulfillment. This is, I'm gonna say, this is breaking things that have probably, been passed down for generations, and you're breaking those cycles. Or if it's not things that have been passed down, like family type things, this is just you transforming to be the best version of yourself. Again, all of this energy is saying that you're on the right path, and you're doing this. Future, you're on the right path. Okay, here we go again, with the 4. And well, I say again, that might have been the last message, I don't know. Anyways, you're headed towards happiness. This almost looks like this person is holding a sun. Okay, holding it close to them. That is what you're headed towards. That happiness, that ascension. You're ascending. What you let go of kept you in this low energy here. What you let go of is exactly what you needed to let go of, so you could ascend, so you could transform into the best possible version of yourself. You are on the right path. 4 of Pentacles. This is that holding on to. You were holding on to what was not good for you, and you let it go. You let it go. And the energy that is coming through right now, the sun, the energy that is coming through right now is so beautiful. I'm just going to dissect the card a little bit real quick, but you were so focused on this that you were holding on to, you couldn't see that there is a whole empire over here. And that empire is yours. But you had to let go of this. I don't know what this is, but this is nothing in comparison. And you were somebody that was extremely, I'm going to say, you tried to be extremely flexible, okay? You really did try to work with, and that is great. Being adaptable is absolutely wonderful until you are adapting to a point where you're hurting yourself. You're hindering your own growth, okay? You saw things for what they truly were at some point, and you'd let go of this. And because you let go of that, because you're not descending anymore into this underworld, to this negative energy here, you're ascending, You're having a rebirth now. You're transforming into exactly what you want, and you're going to be blessed with everything that you want. This stability, this balance, this peace that you're seeking. It's it's going to be a part of your everyday life. Reason to celebrate. Okay? Now, I don't want to get into the other energy that is coming through with this, because you've let that shit go. You let it go. So we're not going to entertain this past energy that is wanting to pop up here, okay? We're not. Because what you have is a beautiful future to look forward to. There's celebration after this ending. All right, okay. Wish fulfillment. Wish fulfillment. High Priestess. All right, I'm telling you. And again, with like the sun being held close to the heart, okay? Something about that is extremely significant here. But you are headed straight towards your wish fulfillment, you know? And there could be some mystery around it, but you know in your heart that you are headed towards the right path. You know in your heart that you are headed towards what will bring you happiness, bring you comfort, bring you safety and security, and whatever aspect of your life that this is in, you know, you're headed towards your wish fulfillment. You know, and part of you getting there was to put an end to this past stuff that you put an end to and transform, you know, use that as a tool. Again, I don't know exactly if this is related to the previous message, but there are a lot of similarities here. So if you haven't made this jump, if you haven't let go of whatever this is, okay, if you're struggling to do that, please take a look at the previous message. Okay? You have the Page of Swords. No, you're gaining clarity. You know, within this transformation, you're receiving clarity here. And if this was a love aspect, okay, you had a decision to make. Okay, the Lovers is usually a choice between two people, or, you know, the balancing of your masculine and feminine energy within yourself. But on this card, I see a man and a woman, and they look happy, they look at peace. There's that empire, okay? And you, I'm gonna say, you made your decision. You made your decision. You know, there's not options in this card, okay? You made your decision, and there really is I want to say love. I want to say peace, but love. There's love that wants to come out here, okay? Heart's desire. Wish fulfillment, okay? Clarity about this decision. Having, you know, come after this transformation, having come after you let this go. You know, the last message was about a leap of faith. And with this Ace of Wands here, this is, I'm going to say, related to that last message. This is that leap of faith to take action, okay, to this new beginning, to this person or situation, whatever this may be for you, that brings that passion, that brings that spark, that life, okay? The energy around this is so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, you know, because this is the energy of having overcome. This is the energy of having set this down, okay, letting go, ascending, transforming, having reason to celebrate, and knowing that you're headed towards wish fulfillment. There's this inner knowing here, okay? 10 of Pentacles. I'm fucking done. 10 of Pentacles, okay? This is that silver fucking spoon, okay? That generational wealth, This is your happiness. This is your wish fulfillment. You're going to get everything that your heart desires because you set this down, because you made the decision to transform, to get rid of all of the past and blossom into the new. Okay? I really do love this message. There is nothing bad about this message. Okay? So if you have not already released whatever this is, okay, again, please take a look at the previous message. But this is what is to come. This is just showing you that once you let this go, once you let all of this negative shit go and put an end to this, there's celebration, there's reason to be happy. There is that happiness, that inner knowing, okay? Wish fulfillment, clarity about the decision of love that is headed towards the Ten of Pentacles, okay? There's nothing bad about this. It's absolutely all beautiful. All of it. I'm just going to take the 2. Universal embrace. You are held in something vast and loving. Trust the way forward is cradled in grace. Okay? And in the previous message, I was saying that the path was blessed. It was a blessed path, and it was full of other blessings along that path. Okay? Just know that this is all divinely guided. Okay? This is the universe giving you love back by fulfilling your dreams and fulfilling your heart's desires because you put in the effort, okay, to change yourself, to change your situation, to honor your heart, to honor what you truly want that is best for you, okay? Now, not everything we want is good for us. And I think that that is a lesson that you had learned. I really do. I feel like that is something that you had learned. Not everything is good for us, no matter how hard we try to hold on to it. All right, so the next message is renewed energy. When the spark returns, move with purpose. Your fire is ready to rise again. Okay? That's this rebirth. That's this transformation. You know, you're ready to step into this new, beautiful life. You are. The divine thinks you are. If you don't think you are, the divine thinks you are. The divine is so ready to bless you. Okay? Actually, I want to pull one more. Just because I want it to go in the center. Give some balance, right? Just one, please. Just one. Just one. Two wants to pop out. I'll take them. Awaken your senses. Let the world touch you through sound, scent, and stillness. Life begins to speak. And then untamed spirit. Your wildness is sacred. Move boldly with the grace of something that cannot be broken. Okay? And what I get from this is these things that you left behind, these things that you no longer held on to with bleeding hands, okay? Those things are being turned into tools for you to use, you know? These aren't things that can break you ever again. Ever again. What you had gone through before, it won't happen again. Not only because you won't let them happen, because you have gained the wisdom and you have used those as tools to not repeat the same bad cycles or whatever this was that no longer served you, but the universe is also not going to, you know, let this happen again, okay? You have transformed. You're not even the same person anymore. You know, you don't resonate with this shit anymore. You have this new energy here, and this new energy is leading you straight towards everything that you ever truly wanted. I love it. I hope this message helped, and until next time. Bye.